had you, and now I'm trying to date. And it, like, on the one hand, okay, equality, right? I'm a working man, you're a working woman. We are talking, we seem to like each other's company. Hey, let's go out to dinner, right? But then the expectation, boom, I pick up the tab. And it happened a couple of times where I'm sitting there and like, okay, the bill comes and I don't immediately reach for my wallet to see if she like reaches for a purse or whatever. And she's just sitting there. And then I realize, oh, okay, yep, I got to do this. And sure enough, I pull out my wallet and I put the credit card or cash on the thing, and there's no offer, coming. And I'm not resentful. I'm not angry about it. But when I get home, I'm thinking, yeah, like, what about this equality thing? We're both divorced. We're both struggling with, young children at home, and we're, trying to make ends meet. And we're both looking to, be in a relationship. And yet that expectation is just there. Well, that's just the way it is because, hell, from the time that I was a little kid, that's the way I was raised, that when you ask a woman out, you better be prepared to pay the tab. Don't ask her out if you're not prepared to pay for it.
Right.
And so I think, all right, that's what I'm supposed to do. But in the back of my mind, I have liberated women, their agency. They don't want to be owned by a man. And then you get that sort of that toxic masculine expectation. Hey, I paid for dinner and all this kind of stuff. You owe me. And I hope nobody's offended by that. But that seems to be almost part of the underlying subtext of why the Aziz Ansari story got blown up so much.
And that's actually and I've heard men say that, it's like, I paid for dinner, so you owe me.
You actually heard that, huh?
Uh-huh.
You're not friends with those guys, I hope.
No.
Okay, good.
But like, or even, it was a joke, but it's how a lot of men think, where in this show, The Boondocks, where one of the characters, Riley, was basically saying, like, he was calling this woman a hoe, right? And, his brother Huey's basically saying, not all women are hoes. And then so Riley goes on this little monologue about basically like, I'm paying for dinner. So, or even, I'm paying, so whether it's a actual prostitute or a regular woman, there's money coming out of my pocket. So in my view, they're all prostitutes, right? Which is obviously, but the thing is, the reason why jokes like that land is because it's like there are people that think like that, and you're making fun of them obviously in the show, and then he ends it off by saying something about, why don't I just give her the money I was going to spend on dinner and she could go buy some groceries or something, that was kind of like the punchline part of it. But yeah, it was like, but yeah, that idea is prevalent with men. So it kind of, I guess, the paying for dinner kind of feeds into that, patriarchy, because theoretically, right?
Well,
if you look at it from the other way, like in the 50-50, like I ask a woman to go out, we go out on a date, she pays for her meal, I pay for my meal. I didn't pay for anything, so like, now obviously there's going to be men that'll probably still expect, well, we went out on a date,
Well,
but,
I mean, women, yeah, I mean, as far as like what people expect, you don't want to start like projecting what people are expecting. It's just more when you get into this, like young men, and if young men are getting lost to this toxic, violent, misogynistic, racist, worldview, because there's nothing like pulling them into the alternative. We're just looking at like reactions and this, what is it? The water that they have to swim through,